So let's just place an actual live trade. Let me show you what you can see on screen. You're looking at GBP USD. This is a typical trading platform which many brokers provide. So the 1 minute chart, if I wanted to change to 5 minutes, I'd look at it like this. 15 minutes would be there, and so on. So how do we place a trade? Well, often you'll see a typical ticket like this, and you can see the number of lots, and we've discovered lots elsewhere. We can alter that, which will help us decide what size we want to trade. You see the spread between the two. I'm buying at 89, selling at 86. Of course, the full price is 1.4889. Why are those numbers so small? Well, because they're not going to change very quickly. So we're really focusing on the 89 and 86 out there. Now, let's say we wanted to reduce the size. We just go back and we say, okay, I want to trade one lot there. And what does this mean in reality? Well, let's say I'm looking at something like this, and I say to myself, right, I'm looking at the bar chart here. What I want to do is, I can see the nice little downtrend. It still seems to be falling. Does the market? Maybe I want to do a quick trade. I see it sort of rising a little bit. I've got to make a decision, some kind of buy and sell strategy. Now, I've already in different lectures discuss strategies. But let's say I'm just purely looking at momentum and I see this downward trend and I think, you know what, I think it's got further to go. And I hit on sell, and you can see the dotted line appear. You can see where I have sold, and I've sold pretty much let's see over there. I've sold one lot at the price level of 88. I'm looking it up. 88.60. Okay, so I've sold that at 88.60, and I've gone short, and I'll soon see whether or not I'm making money on that one. And I can keep on seeing as the price moves at what point I want to go in to get in to buy and cut it out at a profit. Now, remember, I chose this purely on a very simple basis. I was just looking at the downward trend. That's not a very sophisticated strategy, but I'm doing it for the purposes of showing you how to place a trade, what a live trade looks like, how long it might come about, and so on. So, like I said, at 88.60, or in the cases here, 86, at 86 is when we got in and we went short. So I really need the buy to go below 86, because then I'll be in profit. And that's what we do. We just wait for that market to move lower. And you can see it's moved a little bit lower already. It's dropped a bit there. Okay, it's at 85. Let's say I bought into that. Let's say I do that. Well, I'll have made a small profit, nothing much to write home about. And if I were to zoom in, you'll be able to see the difference between the levels I got in and got out. In actual fact, if I waited even longer, I would have made more. But that was just to show you a quick, simple example of a trade where we were going with momentum. We sold at 86. We bought at 85. So it was 1 pip difference, and therefore made the profit of 1 pip accordingly between the two levels. It's very simple. And that's how it happens. Now, with most people, what they'd actually do is have a trading strategy more sophisticated than the quick one I wanted to show you, where they won't just look at the trend and the direction in which it's going. They might look at other strategies, which I show later in other lectures. But that is a typical live trade in front of your eyes.